Hello and welcome to Sports Hub. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Moden Sinkala, also known as Ntapechela Umwana wa Kwilanzi. Well, it looks like Zambia has started doing well in terms of sports. Maybe it's because of the goodwill from government. So most sports disciplines are doing well. Football, athletics, boxing, and all that. So today, I'm featuring a Rollball player. So it's a relatively new sport in Zambia. So you'll get to know more about it. So make sure you stay with us because I'll be introducing this guest shortly. So feel free to participate on the program by calling 0211 25 30 25 or 0211 25 08 43. Or you can also send a WhatsApp message on 0955 20 29 04. If you are into Facebook, send us your comments, contributions on Sports Hub Facebook page or Modern Sinkala Sports. So there's a segment we call How Much Do You Know Your Sportsmen and Women? So last week I showed you a certain photo and I asked you to identify that one. Who is that sports woman? And I received one call from Moses Tembo from Eastern Province, and he said that is Martha Tembo. So Martha Tembo is a defender for Copper Queens, but unfortunately she's not the one. That is Beauty Nakazwe. So Beauty Nakazwe is the captain for the Zambia Women National Netball team. They recently participated at the African Netball World Cup qualifiers where they finished 4th. So she won 2 Player of the Match awards in the match against Eswatini and also in the match against Kenya. So that's a Beauty Nakazwe. She plays club netball for Green Buffaloes women's team. But today I have another one for you. So well tried, all those that tried. Who are those 2 players in the photo? They're very much part of the Copper Queens. So I mean, they used to play for Copper Queens. So who are they? Not part of the squad which is currently in South Africa, but they've been so instrumental for the Copper Queens. Who are those? The number to call is 0211 25 30 25 or 0211 25 08 43. WhatsApp, it's 0955 20 29 04. Facebook, is Sports Hub Facebook page or Modern Sinkala Sports. So I'll be so happy to hear from you. But for now, let's look at the results from the weekend. We start with the 2023 Men's Hockey All-Africa Games qualifiers, which were held in Zimbabwe, and Zambia managed to qualify for the All-Africa Games, which will be held in Ghana next year in 2023, but lost the final game. So at first, Zambia met Zimbabwe. It was a tight game. Zambia won by 3-2. Then later on, Zambia met Malawi and won by 5-1. So the final game was between Zambia and Zimbabwe again. But this time, Zimbabwe put a revenge. So it was a very painful loss to Zambia, I'm sure, because they scored just at the very last minute when Zambia could not equalize. So it ended Zimbabwe 3 and Zambia 2. So that's Team Zambia there, all those players. And the top scorer's award went to a Zambian player, Philemon Mwali, who was also player of the tournament. So that's him there. You can identify him, synonymous with the dyed hair. We'll be finding out from my guest in the studio today whether he also dyes his hair or what's his favorite haircut. So that's in terms of hockey. Tough luck to Zambia, but the most important thing is that they managed to qualify to the All-Africa Games. Let's go to the University Games now. The Kuksa Games held in Malawi from 28 to 3rd September 2022. Zambia finished 4th with 19 medals. South Africa were first, obviously finishing with 25 medals. Botswana 2nd position, 23 medals. Zimbabwe in 3rd with 21 medals. Then 5th, Malawi 12 medals. Angola, unfortunately, no medal. So that's the medal count there. Well tried, Zambia, finishing 4th. I'm sure next time you will do better. But from the 19 medals, 5 are gold medals. So well done to all those that went to Malawi. From the Cooksa Games, we come back home. We look at the Midlands Netball Association Mina League Week 17 games played at Kabwe Tennis Court. Only one game was played. This was between Red Arrows and the Green Buffaloes. So it was between the Air Women and the soldiers from the Zambia Army. So the women in green proved to be so strong. They beat Red Arrows by 47 goals to 36. And from netball, we go to basketball in the Midlands Basketball Association MBA League Week 4 results. So these games were played on the 3rd and 4th of September. In the Super League, it was Red Arrows 54, Green Buffaloes 65, Bulldogs 73, Mantero Magic 86, Hawks 55, Munali Sun 71, Huskies 64, Heroes Play United 57, Unza Pacers 72, Napsa Hurricanes 43. What a shocking result this one was, because Napsa Hurricanes are the defending champions. LCC Looters 49, Matero Magic 68. In the feminine category, it was Hotspur 61, Napsa Breeze 41, Green Buffaloes 55, Unza Hanis 51, Mystic, a new team 27, Dolphins 55. From basketball, we go to chess, the game of the mind. So in the Lusaka Province Chess Association Elite League, round 9 results. It was Napsa A 5, Red Arrows B 1, Yofoso Kings 2.5, Green Buffaloes 3.5, Kafue Neo, Red Arrows 6, Ryoka versus Nkwazi. This game was postponed, and so was the game between Napsa B and Green Eagles. Let's now go to football in the 2022 COSAFA Women's Championship. On Saturday, it was Angola 1, Mozambique 1, South Africa 4, Mauritius 0. Sunday, it was Namibia 5, Eswatini 1, Zambia 7, Lesotho 0. Barbara Banda scoring 5 goals alone. Then the other 2 goals were scored by Everine Katongo and also Siomara Mapepa. Then Monday today, it was Malawi 6, Comoros 0, Botswana 0, Tanzania 0. So tomorrow, Tuesday, it will be Lesotho versus Namibia 12 hours, Eswatini versus Zambia at 12 hours as well, Mauritius versus Angola at 15:30, and Mozambique versus South Africa at 15:30. Remember, South Africa fielding like a second string side. The A team, which won the Africa Women Cup of Nations, is playing friendly matches. So at first they played the first game with Brazil and lost by 3 goals to 0. And today, when I was coming here, I left it at 4-0. They were being butchered by Brazil. It was at 4-0 at some point. Not sure how it ended. So that's in the women's category of football. So let's now go to the MTN Super League Week 3 results. On Thursday, it was Cabo Warriors 1, Red Arrows 0. Saturday, it was Muza 3, Chambishi 2, Forest Rangers 1, Butcon 1, Green Eagles 1, Power Dynamos 0. Lumwana Radiance 1, Napsa Stars 0, Nkwazi 0, Zesco United 1, Nchanga Rangers 0, Green Buffaloes 0. Sunday, so it was Nchanga Rangers 0, Green Buffaloes 0. So Nchanga Rangers, who are the league leaders, getting a draw there. Sunday, it was Nkana 1, Zanaco 2, Red Arrows 3, Kansanshi Dynamos 0, Prison Leopards 0, Cabo Warriors 0. So Nchanga still topping, they have 7 points. Also Red Arrows on 7 points. Power, after losing, they remain on 6 points. Let's go to the second tier, which is the first National Division 1 League. Week 3 results. Saturday, it was Mpulungu Harbour 2, Kafue Celtic 1, Kafue Eagles 1, Jomolo 0, Livingston Pirates 1, City of Lusaka 0. Shocking result, because Livingston Pirates have just been brought to the National Division 1 League after Gomes could not continue. Aguila Stars 1, Konkola Blades 0. Lemi Chanda scoring the only goal for Aguila Stars. Trident 2, Young Green Buffaloes 0. Indeni 2, Atletico Lusaka 2. Zesco Malaiti Rangers 0. Quito United 0. Then on Sunday, it was Mufulira Wanderers Avena Milambo 0. Lusaka Dynamos 0. Bats FC of Choma 1. Mutondo Stars 1. So this is what is happening in the National Division 1 League. Let's now go overseas. We go to the English Premier League. On Saturday, it was Everton 0, Liverpool 0, Brentford 5, and Leeds United 2, Chelsea 2, West Ham United 1, Newcastle United 0, Crystal Palace 0, Nottingham Forest 2, AFC Bournemouth 3, Tottenham Hotspur 2, Fulham 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Southampton 0, Aston Villa 1, Manchester City 1. Then on Sunday it was Brighton and Hove Albion 5, Leicester City 2. This was a battle of the Zambian brothers. So Enoch Mwepu facing Patson Daka. Patson Daka scored a goal actually and created a one. Then, but it was Enoch Mwepu's side which was superb and won by 5 goals to 2. Enoch Mwepu played 84 minutes. Then Manchester United 3, Arsenal 1. Arsenal, despite losing, they are still topping the table, but just by 1 point. They are being followed closely. So those were the results from the weekend. So before I introduce my guests in the studio, let's dance to a song done by Kabova. And this one is titled Zambia Kuchalo, dedicated to the Copper Queens. Tomorrow they take on Eswatini. I'm sure the cup is coming home for the very first time.
Sing the Zambian furaki, aya ndi aya. La 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 munganda. Kwa la Queens imwa. La 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 munganda. La 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 mukampu. Abesu kabushidumayo. La la muchibasa. Kabushidumayo. Yeah, Zambia kuchalo. FIFA proved you Company Queens Kuchalo, we have put out the views on 19 put us in 9 million when we are behind you for the very first time. Zambia has exported copper to the world in form of the Company Queens zone. Amesu, Sporo Poro, keeping us in the Furaki Aya. We are behind you, Kule, Power Amasuku, Company Queens Kuchalo zone. Once more. La 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 munganda. Company Queens imwaze. La 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 munganda. La la mukampu. La la muchibasa. Yeah, Zambia kuchalo. Zambia, we are behind you, we are put out of you. Zambia Kuchalo. Sasina zona, Company Queens zona, 2014 mwaditi tuana, Women's Under 20 World Cup Costa Rica, 2021 Tokyo Olympics Japan, 2022 AFCON Morocco, 2020 Philippe tuana, FIFA World Cup, we are put out of you zona. You have made this story, we are put out of you. Go forward, Sporo Poro imwe. Twali winner, killing the game, not even at 20. FIFA proved you on. Tueva sona, Twaliva sona, Kureva sona, come on. The government is behind you, France is behind you. Mateo Nguruve, Luana, Junior Luana, we are all behind you. Border. Zambia Chaya border. Zambia Chaya border. Zambia Ganesa border. Zambia Ganesa border. Zambia Ganesa border. Banyunye nyuko. Takuria shimu filika musungu. Banyunye nyuko. Bageshi bashani. Shibora
right, that's Kabova with a song titled Zambia Kuchalo, dedicated to the Copper Queens. They've been making Zambia proud. So time for me to welcome my guest in the studio for today. He is a rollball player. He was part of the national team that participated at the World Cup in 2015 and 2017. He's also a founder of Zampro Skaters. Apart from that, he's an educational psychologist, martial artist, swimmer, yoga trainer, and aircraft model designer. The CV is just too long. I'm talking about Onijah Zani. Welcome to Sports Hub. Thank you very much for joining us. You can freely take your seat.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. What are these you are carrying?
So these are simply called roller skates. So roller skates are any shoe with wheels under. So they come in different sizes and also different types. So this is called a tri-skate because it has got 3 wheels, and there are other skates which are called quad skates, which have 2 wheels in front and also another 2 behind. Those are called quads. But otherwise, these are skates.
How affordable are they?
For this one, it is, I bought it online, so it's kind of slightly expensive, a bitish. But we can actually find them in Salaula, which are locally sourced from people who help us to get goods from other countries into Zambia.
Okay.
Definitely.
So this one, how much is it?
So this was about 335.
3,500.
Yes.
Certainly, an ordinary person from our local compounds cannot afford that.
Yeah. So for me, I feel like it's a big investment because covering longer distance, the speed, you can actually customize it. Removing the frame, you can remove actually everything apart and put it together. That's a good advantage of this. And the wheels are bigger. The bigger the wheels, the more faster the skate is. Okay. And covering a very longer distance in a short period of time.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to where it all started. Who is Onijah Zani?
Onijah. So Onijah Zani is I. I was born in Zaf Lusaka. My father was working as a musician in Zaf, and my mother, Mrs. Zani, she's Kaonde by tribe, and also she's the one who influenced me and also my brothers a lot in us exploring our talents. So I did my primary education in Zaf at a school called Ndeke. Then later on, we shifted out from the base into Chainda, where I went to Chainda Basic School, Cheston Secondary School, until Yunza, and all this way with passion of trying out what I love.
Okay, what were you studying at Yunza?
So at Yunza, I did educational psychology, minor with religious studies, and that's what I did. Aside from that, I was exploring my talents.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, let's zero it down to sports now. How, when did you get into sports, and what sports codes were you involved in?
Okay, so when I was growing up, we in the base, we were involved in judo. So in Zaf Lusaka, there was a certain hall where everyone was going for free to train judo before it was shifted to Long Acres. And my brothers and I, our father empowered us that we should do that. Then aside from that, we're also doing swimming in the bush a lot.
Okay,
and
in the
also
river?
In the rivers, yeah. And also we did much of hunting, much of fishing. That's like way back. But talking about skates, I started skating in grade 6. A friend of mine by the name of Weston, who is based in Avondale, his brother had a very big appear and our legs were small. And we tried out. He was skating properly. I didn't know how to skate. So I had this desire of saying, I want to try to skate. I want to see how it feels like skating. Then from then, I've been skating ever since then until now.
Okay. What about karate?
So karate I started in 2008 by Cheston Baza. So my sensei, or the person who instructs me, is it's called Kyoshi Hanshim Shippy. He's the one who's been mentoring me in martial arts. And the main reason why I started martial arts, I was told that for the sake of self-defense on my mom.
We can see the photos that, there.
Yes.
You can tell us more about that photo.
So on your, the person on the far end, third, is Hanshim Shippy with specs. He's like 8th dan, so like he's very good. Then the people you see on the right side. On the right side, there are three senseis actually, and also some senpais. That's a Cheston Judokai club of karate. That's where we trained from.
Okay. What inspired you to get into karate?
So martial arts, I wanted to be safe. So we train martial arts for the sake of self-defense, not for the sake of beating up people, no.
Okay.
But majority of people have this eager to say, if I learn how to fight, I'll be beating up anyone. That's how everyone feels.
Yeah, for others, they come from a background where they were being bullied when they were young.
Yes.
Now they decided to get into martial arts so that they can
beat back.
Yes.
So otherwise, for me, I've no background being beaten by my brothers. Yeah, my brothers were, but I didn't fight with them. But apparently, the zeal of me just feeling safe for the sake of self-defense. That's the main reason why I do martial arts. And until today, I still do martial arts. And it's really beneficial for the sake of me being fit physically, and also mentally, and just feeling secure, and also being obedient, mostly.
All right.
Yeah.
So I can term these sports called martial art and swimming as your minors.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You didn't enjoy them?
No, I did. So for skating, gave me more zeal because I got my first visa on skating. So, and also the competition that I had, it being unique, it was an easy selection because I was skating for a long time. Then for swimming and also martial arts, I didn't really strive to go way more, like try to be in the national team. But I'm hoping soon I will, and also participate in the local competitions involving championships with karate.
Okay.
But skating, I love skating.
All right. Okay, so let's get back to skating now. How you started and who inspired you?
So two people who inspired me were Weston, the first person who taught me to actually weigh and balance. His name is Weston. Then the other person who taught me, all I knew it was just the basics. Then later on, a certain man called Juni Mate is the one who influenced me and taught me the skills for me to be more stable. Then when I was skating along the way, I met a certain man called Mr. Nshimbi, just from the roadside. So
Nshimbi?
Yes.
From Munza?
From Munza, yes. He met me on the road and told me there's this sport called Rollball. Have you heard of it? And there's a trip coming up soon. So I was like, many people give all these promises, but there's no fulfillment. And from then I met him. He told me to come through by the office. I did orientations of Rollball. I didn't know any rules about Rollball or anything about Rollball. I just knew how to skate forward. And also had some skills.
So for the sake of the viewers, what is Rollball? Explain more about it.
Rollball. So Rollball is a combination of handball, throwball, and basketball on skates. So Rollball is a game played by a team of 6 versus 6, but each team is required to have 6 reserved players. So people who play inside the field, there are 5 of them. Then the 6th one is the goalkeeper. Then talking about the dimensions and the rules of Rollball. So there are rules that you are not allowed to push your opponent, but rather get the ball. You're not.
So it's a non-contact.
It's a non-contact game.
Okay.
So you can't push, you can't grab, you can't try to maybe like put your leg and make them trip. That's a foul. You can't do that. And also other rules are you are not allowed to enter in this deep defense area. That area is a 3-meter radius area for the goalkeeper that no player is allowed to go into there. If I throw the ball into this into the net while I enter into that line, it's a foul, and I'm not allowed to end that score.
Okay.
Yes.
So, like with football, it can be played anywhere where you can just make small goalposts and you start playing.
And play.
What about Rollball?
So for Rollball, the wheels, there are 2 different types of wheels. So the wheels of skates, they come in rubber form and also stone wheels. So when I say stone wheel, they are kind of rigid and they have no grip between the tarmac or whatever surface you are using. So talking about the surface, there's a hard surface which can be concrete and also wooden floors, which can be okay for rubber wheels. So even hard surfaces like a car park, for example, we have Cosmopolitan Mall, which empowers skaters from Chawama who play Rollball there, and they've been allowed. And we have Twimpa Mall, who they gave us a position where cars are not allowed to go there. That's
so like that's twin Pamo.
That's definitely a twin Pamo. Management gave us the slot, and we actually appreciate them a lot. That's where we train from. We block all areas, and we have Yunza. Right now, you are seeing those are students who came from Zimbabwe, all the way from Zimbabwe, just to come and get oriented about Rollball.
Okay.
And their wheels are skates. They're using the good skates, but the wheels are called stone wheels.
Okay.
There's no grip at all.
Okay.
So they're not good. So they're playing against a combination of Ngombe, Yunza, and also Chainda female team. So it was Zimbabwean female Rollball team versus Zambia female Rollball team.
Okay.
And there were many on the Zimbabwean part. So, and they were actually learning. So we had to give them one guy. His name is Amos. Just stay in the corner throwing the ball. He's one of the best Rollball players, and also this a skater that I know that is very good, better than me actually.
Okay.
But he's my student.
So scoring, you score like handball?
Handball, yes. You score.
But you bounce like basketball?
You bounce like basketball. So for the rules about bouncing the ball, you're not allowed to go with a ball with 3 steps ahead without bouncing the ball. That's a foul. And also you are not allowed to move with the ball for more than 3 seconds, meaning the ball will go to the other team. So you have to bounce throughout while you're moving, bounce throughout.
Okay.
Then
so here I can't see goal posts. How do you do it?
So this was the tennis court outside Yunza. We're not using the sports hall. So we're perfecting our passes and also teamwork. So when it comes to Rollball, you need to be, there's the element of speed, balance, accuracy, and also teamwork. So this time they were training how to pass to their friends and also bounce the ball. So there's a junior team. These kids are from different communities. So we have kids from the Indian community and also Chainda, Salama, and their parents are actually supportive. All those cars you're seeing around the court, those are cars who brought their kids just for them to participate.
So the sport is getting popular?
It's getting bigger and popular at this time. So with the areas that I can say that they are actually playing Rollball is Ngombe, Chawama, Mandevu, Chainda, there's Mtendere, there's Zaflusaka, and also Yunza itself, and Garden, and also other areas which are increased. And skates, when they come out from Salawola, since I've got like contacts, they are not there. Like they go easily, they go quickly because more people are interested in skating.
Okay.
So Rollball, we're trying to promote this sport for the sake of them skating for a purpose, them participating in tournaments and also leagues. And for the kids, there's no junior league for the kids. So we're trying to train all those kids who are able to skate properly by themselves and also teach them other disciplines. That's the main reason why we're actually trying to tap the kids. Then each kid, their parents actually signed a consent form for them to be part and parcel of the team and also to be responsible over their child. Then the kids who are wearing white and blue, them coming from China, we also get help and assistance from well wishers. For example, we have the Faith Foundation, which donated the outfits and also some stockings for free for the kids to look okay.
So these are learning basics here.
So that's another discipline called slalom, which is aside from Rollball. Slalom is simply passing through a cone without hitting that cone.
Okay.
So it can be backwards, it can be forward, and the kids are now learning those tricks. They're not easy because like Harsh is trying to do, it's called Nelson, passing through a cone by moving 90 degrees then back forward. But we're trying to bring all these activities which are happening internationally, because there are competitions like Rollball, there's a league happening and a World Cup actually. Then also there's high jump in skating, there's long jump in skating, and also freestyle skating in skating. So we're trying to teach all these disciplines to the communities.
All right.
Yes, please.
Let's talk about the World Cup. Mwapenshi Mbi told there's this trip coming, going to the World Cup.
Yes.
How did you feel being part of the Zambian team going to the World Cup?
So it was a really good experience, and I felt very, very happy me going out for the first time in Zambia. And also when we reached there, it was a different environment, honestly.
And it was held in India?
And it was held in Bangladesh.
In Bangladesh.
So the first World Cup was hosted in 2011 in India. Then after 2 years, there's always a World Cup. So ever since the 2011 World Cup, Zambia participated twice so far. So the 2015, It was for the sake of people learning about the World Cup.
And that's the photo we are seeing there.
Yes, so that's the first team that went to Zambia. So for the sake of them to learn the sport. So those guys, they're the ones who influenced me and taught me about the rules of Rollball, when all I knew was just skating, normal skating. Then the 2017 one, it's on which we had a selection. So selection was based by merit. So implying that if you are good and if you knew how to play Rollball well, you'd qualify to go and compete. And there were 43 countries which competed, and Zambia came out on 8th position. And
wow, 8 from 43 countries. And for the first time?
For the second time, actually, for the second time. And what I saw and learned was that there are better countries, for example, like Kenya. They are so much dominating in Rollball. The female team came out first position, then the male team came out second position. Then we have Uganda, we have Tanzania, we have Senegal, we have Egypt. All these African countries, they're actually now bringing Rollball into Africa and trying to teach us people here, and hopefully that we can actually participate in more World Cups.
That was still in 2015?
That was still in 2015. So all those actually pioneers who are pioneering.
So you were not part of that?
I wasn't part and parcel of them. Okay. So by then I didn't even meet any person who was doing Rollball. But the 2017 one, that's the 2017 one.
Okay, so that's 2017.
That's the 2017 one. So that's a full team which is currently pushing and pioneering for Rollball in Zambia.
Who are the other players?
So we have Mr. Andrew, we have the president actually, Brian Mpande, that's on the left side, second left side. Then we have me, third, Onijah Zani as the Rollball roller skating commissioner. Then we have Mr. Chanda with the orange headsock. He's not part and parcel of the federation, but he also pioneers. Then we have Mr. Mambo Msute. He is the Secretary General. And we have the treasurer, who is Peter Tapiseni, wearing a white shirt. And we have Mr. Emmanuel, top guy. He's Mr. Emmanuel. He's the one actually who taught me the rules of Rollball.
Okay.
Yes,
so
please.
How was your experience at the World Cup? And you were playing as a striker. How many goals did you score? Do you call them goals?
Yeah, we call them goals, actually.
Okay.
So we have 25 minutes for us to, no, so we have 50 minutes, which is split into 25-25. So in that time, you're allowed to score as many goals as possible. Mr. Mambo scored many goals than me. He was better than me then. Then I was the second top scorer. I scored several goals. But Mr.
Second top scorer for Zambia or for the whole tournament?
No, for Zambia. For Zambia,
okay.
yeah. For Zambia. Then the environment was really life-changing, because I didn't know how people were playing. We had this environment, this mentality that the 2015 guys had. That's the same tactics and methods we were using to play. But after seeing what I saw there and seeing Iran playing against India, like these guys, they started the sport. They actually compete, and every World Cup is always Iran versus India at some point.
Final?
No, normally in the finals. But Kenya is the only African country that tops, whereby it pushes every country that it comes out maybe like third position, always, which is like really, really good. So yeah, so the Kenyans are very good. And talking about Senegal, they are very good, but they are so good in high jump. So the guy who jumps like 1.5 meters high, he's the one who's having the world record high jump in skates.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what lessons did you learn at that World Cup? So
the lessons that I learned was a combination of skills in skating. So I think we're kind of biased, like the way we were approaching other teams, until we saw how they were defending themselves, how they were having this formation of scoring and also maneuvering and confusing us or other teams. So with that, I learned a lot, and actually I had an opportunity to, all of us, we actually got medals. We got medals. That was my medal.
That was your medal?
That was my medal.
The fourth Rollball World Cup 2017?
Yes.
Okay.
And the other thing that I saw, I had actually a chat with the son of the founder of Rollball. And I openly asked him, okay, what should I do for me to be more better in Rollball? how can I make my team more better, because his father taught him, and he's one of the guys who's like topping. And with that exposure, I had a chance to at least get contacts and also be in touch with other people from other countries and get updates of what they're doing out there. So the main thing that I learned is to push what we saw out there to be utilized here in Zambia. So talking about my position as the roller skating commissioner, my job is to preach Rollball to other people. So not only in China where I'm based, so all these other compounds, talking about Chawama, talking about Mandevu, Garden, they're all registered and also they're all affiliated under the Zambia Rollball Federation, so that they should actually grow more and influence more other people. That's the main reason, and that's the purpose of the federation. So
when you just came back from Bangladesh,
yes.
You came and formed your own club?
Yes.
Zampro Skaters.
Zampro Skaters. So I told everyone when we were coming back in the plane, I'm like, I'm going to form my own club. And it felt like a joke. It felt like maybe I'm just talking out of the bruise. But really, what happened was that we applied at Garden City Mall. They gave us a slot that we started teaching people there. Then at some point, we had people giving us pairs of skates for free, which is like so good. And we started also contributing our own money for us to have skates in the club. That's when you came. You actually came through Bangladesh to interview us.
Yes, I came through, and I would want to get the progress of the club. How much has it grown? And remember, all those kids that were there, I'm thinking by now you should have 100 kids or so. How has it grown, and where are those kids that you are training?
Okay, so talking about the numbers have massively grown, honestly, not for the sake of just saying it out. The female team now, the ones who are facing the Zimbabwean team, they're very good. I can say they are actually ready to face any team abroad. So with that, it will be actually a good way of girl empowerment. And talking about the male team, they have actually increased, most like in China. They have increased to an extent that people are actually buying and desiring to have more skates for them to grow more. So even user students, actually, they're like motivated to skate, because majority of them having the facilities and also balls outfits being provided by the school, thanks to the recreation activities which have been sponsored there. And as the community, we actually are benefiting from that too, that we create competitions for those guys. So as I can say, we are growing massively, and the numbers have increased. And talking about people playing professionally, they have increased. And also kids as young as 3 until 12, they're actually pro skaters that they can skate backwards, they can jump a person, they can do freestyle. This is something which is ongoing, and at least hoping that we're creating a generation that can present Zambia in the near future.
Okay,
that's the main aim of this.
Where are players like Chipo Piri? Is it small or baby?
Her name is Baby. So that's her nickname actually. So actually, Baby, she's there. Her name is not Baby. Her name is Miriam Tonga.
Okay.
She was the top scorer in the competition that we had between Zimbabwe and also Zambia. Then Chipo Piri, she's active, she's present with us. She didn't come through during the launch, during the competition for the Zimbabwe, but she's available and she's there. We have Gertrude Piri, we have Taonga Piri, then the other girl we have is Jessica Mtonga, and also other female, mostly from Yunza, but otherwise the ladies are actively playing skating, and that there are also more skaters. So let's say in Yunza, there's also a group of females that are present, and they are also being influenced by the old members.
Okay.
But otherwise, the female team, it's growing.
Okay. So from the look of things, it looks like it is a popular sport, or a sport that can be popular among the young ones.
Yes.
But I can't see progress. Yes, I've been hearing, yes, you formed the club, but it's been quiet from that time. What has been happening? Why isn't the sport growing?
Okay. So we were, after the launch, we were struck with COVID, so we didn't do much activities. But we had an agenda of doing more tournaments and leagues, and also apart from that, do a marathon so that more people should be aware of the sport, which is true. Then currently, we are putting our house together and also pushing more so that more people should be aware of the sport. Talking about support and also how we were operating and also how we are also operating now, we haven't received any funding yet or support from the government. I would say even during the FTF time, we didn't get anything, but hopefully and praying that during the New Dawn government, and we know more sports are being motivated and more people are being empowered. And I believe with skating, that's the main reason why I'm trying to advocate for skating and say we need more help. And actually in November, there's a trip which we're invited to Canada for us to go and participate. But due to funds, I can't say I don't know, but hoping that we'll go. But in the presence of funds being available, we are ready to go, and we're actually super trained to go.
Okay.
That's what I can say.
So, so the last time the national team participated actively was in 2017.
2017, yes.
So now
internationally.
So now it's 5 years down the line. What has been happening?
So apart from the launch, so the launch gave us a push for us to do the launch. So we did our registration in 2019.
That's for the federation?
That's for the federation,
so
yes.
now affiliated to the National Sports Council of
Yes,
Zambia?
yes.
Okay, in 2019.
In 2019. Then from then, we did the launch at Yunza. Then afterwards, we started trying to get people from the grassroots, from the compounds. Because then the national team, they were there, but honestly, I felt like we didn't really even train more. So we actually had to change things, say, okay, let's bring in more people. And the selection for any team or any competition should be based by merit. So that's the current situation that we're having right now. And I believe we can actually stand in and also present Zambia, like on a very good ground and basis, that people are ready. I can actually testify that people are ready from all the compounds that I've mentioned. They're actually fit and ready, and for the rules that they have passed through, all the orientations, rules and regulations, they are aware of them.
Okay.
Yes.
So now at least the association is in place.
Yes.
And there are clubs like Zampro Skaters. There's also Chawama.
Then we have Mandevu. We have Ngombe. Ngombe is actually the group that is leading and topping in Rollball. They're very good. Like last week, we actually had the tournament, just sort of like coach clinic, bring them together. So Mandevu, Ngombe came out number 1. Then number 2 was Yunza. Then number 3 was China. The only 3 teams which actually came through. Okay. Yes, that was at Yunza.
Okay, great. So for this year, any national team activity, we can only wait for November in Canada. Or what's happening? Look.
So currently we have only the trip as an international trip. It's only Canada for now. But locally, we are planning to have a league between people from Lusaka to face people in Dola. So I didn't mention this. There's a team of skaters who are coached by Mr. Emmanuel Gondwe, just by Hero Stadium. I'm sure people do see them skating there. And also the Secretary General, he's based in Dola and is one who's actually orienting them. So the main aim is for us to influence them people that side and so from Lusaka and do a trip going to Dola so that we should end in that manner. But the agenda also says about having a marathon to aware more people. So I proposed it, but I don't know how many people actually qualify for the distance, covering from the airport until government complex. That's something which is doable, less than an hour, and also no kids. Otherwise, then the kids can actually be based at government complex for the sake of other people being aware of it. Yes. Then aside from that, we have more coach clinics at Yunza every after 2 weeks. So every after 2 weeks on a Saturday, we meet. But the timetable for the Yunza team, they actually train every day from 16:30 to 18 hours by the tennis court. Then if the sports hall is free, because currently people are having exams in the sports hall, so we're not using the sports hall, people do come there and we do train. Okay.
So the Zambia Rollball Federation is in charge of Rollball.
Yes.
And also skating.
And skating.
Okay, so there are like 3 disciplines in one.
So I can say there are 2 disciplines in one, which is Rollball and the skating, but the skating part is broad. So for Rollball, it's specific to say you have to have a ball and you have to bounce a ball and score in a team of 5. Then for the skating part, it has got about 4 disciplines to say. So the first discipline is slalom. We saw the kids were passing through the cones. That was slalom. Then the other, so the slalom, you have to do more tricks than the other person. Then the other discipline is called high jump. So high jump simply means jumping 10 centimeters and above according to how far you go.
Okay.
So for me, my highest is 1.2 meters high, jumping in skates. Then apart from that, there's also long jump. Long jump meaning on the ground, you skate fast from a slightly far off distance from the point that you have to jump over something, but in a length or distance from that point to the other.
Okay. How safe is the sport? Because it was saying men.
All right.
Yeah.
So it is a mandate talking about protection. Protectors are very important, and also it's a mandate that every player has to have protectors during any rollball competition.
Okay.
So
I wear gums. Or
no. So we have elbow pads. We have elbow pads, knee pads, and also palm guards. So and inclusive the helmet. Then for the goalkeeper during rollball, they have to have any protector on the chest. It could be plastic or foam-like, just to absorb all that impact. And aside from that, there's no need of wearing something in the mouth like boxing. No. But there are ways on doing all these disciplines in form of jumping, how to jump, and also how to land safely. And also...
But you haven't had any casualties?
No. So no casualties. And actually, people do ask me, okay, how long have you been skating? I've been skating like for 19 years, but I've never broken any bone in my body. So falling, I do fall when I'm trying something more extreme.
Okay.
That's something I can't deny. If I say I don't fall, people like I'm lying. So I do fall, no breaking anything, no. But I do wear protectors.
Okay, so people who are interested, they are seeing the sport right now.
Yes.
How can they join? And you are basically in Lusaka. You also talked of Ndola. How are you trying to spread to all parts of the country, and where can they find the accessories?
All right. So talking about the skates and also joining us, we have a Facebook page called Zampro Skaters. That's the club page.
Which is based in Lusaka?
Which is based in Lusaka, yes. Then we're trying to also push for Ndola, which is already established, but we're just trying to inform other people. And also with the federation, we have a Facebook page. That's the Zambia Rollball Federation. So you can actually drop your questions if you have any question involving when we have all these activities. But on each tournament, we normally post, so we'll be having this tournament at this venue and at this time. Normally we do that. Then apart from that, talking about the skates, so there are people who can afford to buy one online, which is good. If you can afford it, you can actually buy online. But if you're working under a budget, you can actually buy these secondhand. So we have two suppliers in town. So we have our mother, because she's been supplying us for years. Her name is Aunt Cherise. She's based in New Soweto. That's where she sells from. She also posts all the skates in the Facebook page if someone is interested, and people can actually buy from there. Then we have another supplier from Germany directly, so he ships things in Zambia.
And it's affordable?
It's very much affordable. He sells
how much, for instance?
So he sells at 650, any size 7 and above, and also any size below size 6, he sells at 550. 550. Even in game, actually in game. So any in game, we have China Mall by PHI. They also do sell skates. And for Total Sports, I haven't seen any skates, but I think only protectors. But otherwise, we're trying also to push for companies that are supplying skate outfits or equipment to also have skates in stock, because a lot of people want to skate, and it's really, really a good sport. Okay.
So, Onijah, apart from rollball, skating, what else do you do?
All right. So what I do, there's apart from swimming, which I've spoken about, also I do martial arts, which I've spoken about, and I do yoga. So yoga I started 2 years ago by a madam or a mother. Her name is Rachna Patel. She's Indian. And with her, she's helped me to have an exposure to the Indian community. What you're seeing now, that's at the Indian embassy. We're training and practicing going to Livingstone during yoga day. And we're only two black guys. I think majority of them are Zambians. And why I insisted to try yoga, it's because some of the positions or skills in skating, you have to be flexible, and yoga makes you way more flexible. For example...
Great. Yeah. Tell us very quickly about aircraft designing.
Yes, aircraft designing. So me being born in ZAF and also having an exposure to planes actually passing through our rooftops. I had a desire of being a pilot, and till now I still desire of being a pilot. I do make aircraft models out of polytons. So what you're seeing was a plane that is remote controlled, and what's on my forehead, that's the FPV, first personal view, that the camera on top, which is orange, you can fly the plane, actually see what the plane is seeing in flight. So with these innovations, I'm aiming to make or establish a company in Zambia manufacturing drones in Zambia.
Okay.
We can actually do a lot with drones, and also the next photo that you're seeing is called a tricopter. It was 3D printed, and it flies, and it has a VTX, a camera with it, 3 motors, 3 ACs, and a battery, that black thing below its battery. So all these innovation, I'm trying to at least establish a company that people, ministries, and also learning institutions can actually learn something about aircrafts.
Okay, interesting. Yes. So for now, we take a short break, and when we come back, I'll be subjecting. Okay, we won't take a break.
Okay.
I want to subject you to something different. You are used to skating and all that.
Yes.
But I want you to try ball juggling.
Ball juggling?
Yes. So there is a ball. You can pick it. You can pick the ball and bounce it. Make sure it doesn't drop. So how far do you want to go with the robo?
Robo.
How far? What do you want to achieve? The biggest thing you want to achieve in skating and robo?
So in robo, there's actually an opportunity that the International Robo Federation said that they'll be actually buying players in robo. So the way people in football, they buy players. My aim is to be known as a very famous international robo player, like the way these footballers are. That's my biggest aim.
Great. Okay, give us ball juggling. I don't know if you've played football before, but let's go.
I have.
And time starts now.
All right, wait, let me see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. A man of many talents. Thank you very much, Onijah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
So he's a man of many talents. Thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you so much
I was hosting Onijah Zani. He's a robo player. He's represented Zambia at the 2017 World Cup, and he still wants to do more.
Sure.
Until next week, when I come with a different guest. My name is Modern Tapechela Sinkala. Goodbye.